So, would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Heck yes, we would. Hi, you first.
I'm Craig Laycock, the community manager here at the Creative Assembly, creator of the Total War series.
I'm Will Overgard. I'm the community coordinator.
Oh!
Here at the Creative Assembly, who still make the Total War series.
Yes. We're both from the Creative Assembly.
Yep.
And you guys are going to... You guys are going to teach me how to play this game today, right? I've complained about it on my podcast that I'm a smart guy, and stepping into this felt like stepping into another arcane world. So you're going to teach me how to play Total War Shogun 2, and you're also going to tell me about what's coming up with Rome, right?
Indeed. But we're going to be going for Fall of the Samurai today.
Okay.
Which is a kind of a, as Rock Paper Shotgun called it, an expandalone that we did. It's both an expansion and a standalone game for Shogun 2, and this focuses on the Boshin War, which is when the kind of the pro-traditionalists and the modernists clashed.
Are we going to get a history lesson too?
Can do.
Hey, yeah, that's extra, but
Do that.
Okay, so I'm going to go to single player and new campaign, correct? Fall
Yep.
of the Samurai.
So this is actually the most modern Total War setting we've ever done in terms of timeline. This is what year is it? It starts 1850s.
It says.
It's quite late on. It's later than Empire and Napoleon. So it's actually the most modern Total War game we've ever made. So that meant we could bring in loads of cool new stuff like gunpowder, more gunpowder units.
Yeah. So you've got trains, Gatling guns, ships that can bomb battlefields.
Made of iron.
We've got iron ships.
Yeah.
Actual torpedoes. I mean,
Wow.
yeah.
And a lot of people don't think about that stuff when they think about like Shogun and Samurai and all that kind of stuff. They don't think about trains and guns being involved in that era.
No, not at all. But this is kind of, I think this is a really interesting period of history because it's kind of like the transition of Japan from the old kind of traditional Japan to the modern Japan. And Japan kind of still is struggling with that kind of transition, I think, these days. You know, there's still, you go out into the countryside and it's very old and traditional, and then you go in the cities and it's all modern. So this game kind of almost summarises that transition in Japan.
It's
Okay.
quite cool.
So where am I going to start?
Right.
Oh, which clan? That's the question.
Now, I would recommend the. Who would we say? The. How do you pronounce it? Izu?
The Easy clan, yeah.
Okay.
The recommend Izu clan.
Yeah.
Now it says initial challenge hard, so I'm going for it. And I'm
Yeah,
staying
let's do this.
Let's do it.
normal difficulty.
Of course.
Let's not try Legendary just yet. I've seen men cry playing Legendary.
I've seen men break over campaigns
Designers.
off the shores of Orion.
Okay, so I'm going to skip this intro. And here I am, and if I remember correctly, I have poked around with this a little bit, and I have kind of a port area, and I have a city, and I have a couple of units floating around.
Yes.
And my poor computer is really grumpy running all this recording software at once.
So one of the things about Japan is obviously it makes it interesting for us in terms of setting a game there because it's got a lot of coastline. So previously with Empire and Napoleon it was very much about defending the seas. Now it's more about kind of defending your coastline, so you can be a bit more territorial about how you control your areas of the map and how you control how people get to your regions. So that was something we really wanted to put the focus on for this.
Yeah. In previous Total War games, it did feel like ships were used for combat and mostly for moving from one area, moving from one continent to another. Whereas in this, you've got your starting area, you've got your ship to begin with, and what you can do is you can load guys onto that ship. Not right now, but if you should feel like, and you can skim round your opponents, allowing you to do cool pincer attacks early on.
Just to be clear, Will did say ship and continent. Because Will has been known to, you know, at any moment.
This is, isn't it?
Didn't break the toilet. Moving on.
So one thing I really like that I noticed is I love how the Fog of War has the like map on it of roads and things like that. So it's not 100% fog of war. You have what you would have if you had a map of the land.
Yeah, and that actual 2D map drawing is based on an actual map of the time, which is actually sat under my desk upstairs at the moment.
And it's quite cool that you can see where the railroads will head off. You can see where the major cities are.
Yes.
Even though you don't know where like enemy or ally armies might be, you can kind of plan a little bit more than just having the grey blanket.
But then as you move into it, it kind of paints it in 3D as you're kind of moving along. So it's kind of a nice way of showing the whole kind of unexplored area and the world kind of coming to life and revealing enemy positions as you're moving.
So here's my city, and I have some money. Should I worry about upgrading it now, or should I go ahead and start in on the units?
If you've got a cottage or an inn, anything that's going to make you a little bit more cash, because you're going to need cash flow early on.
Okay, so I've currently got a town, and I can spend money on making it a large town. I can make it a fortress. I can make a magistrate. I can make tenant fields. I can make a port instead of a harbor, or I can make, well, I can't afford the railway station.
I believe is it the magistrates that gets you more cash?
Yeah. If you mouse over one of the building options, it should say what the effects are. Some of the buildings you can build and upgrade allow you to unlock new units. So if you're trying to get cavalry, then you can build certain chain buildings that will allow you to get those. Put them on the battle map.
Yep.
But if you're trying to, there's also the kind of wealth side of buildings where you can kind of build them to not actively fuel the war effort in terms of the units you're producing, but the money that's going to your coffers. So yeah, a good one, like Will said, to start with is any building that gives you an effect that gives you a bit more money early on.
Well, the magistrate appears to be influence, happiness, and repression.
That sounds like my ideal combo.
So the tenant fields is probably what I want to do because it provides money.
Yes.
Plus 900 wealth. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kill this window. I'm going to create some tenant fields.
So you have the Total War Encyclopedia pop up there, which is something we put in for Shogun 2, which kind of just gives you a bit more information on all the different types of buildings, because obviously we know that it can be overwhelming. There's a lot of text in there, there's a lot of different building chains, and there's a lot of units. So having the encyclopedia there as something to refer to is just something we put in there to kind of help out players who might get stuck.
We've also put, within the encyclopedia, there are a few just kind of quick video tutorials as well, just to help people get off the ground who don't have two creative assembly people on Skype to be like, what's up, guys?
Answer my questions. I demand them. Okay, so I've got some sustenance farming going, and I have some units here. I have an army.
Yep.
I have me. And then over here, I believe I have a boat of some kind. I have my navy.
Yes.
I think my first goal is probably to take this area down here.
That sounds like a sound plan.
Yep, that looks good.
Now, I have an army, but as I have driven it down here previously, it gets smashed handily and without much mercy. How can I ensure that this does not happen again?
Well, you'll notice you have the little guy with the yellow clan mon above his head, the little standalone guy just south of your army.
Yes.
This is your agent. Now, I can't tell if he's an Ishinshishi or if he's a Shinsengumi.
He is a Shinsengumi.
The special Japanese police.
Yes, the secret police.
Yes. Googling those guys brings up a ton of off-the-wall anime stuff, so I highly recommend it.
Some of it's work safe.
Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to send him in first, because he'll be able to do things like mess with enemy armies, challenge enemy generals or enemy agents to fight. I don't know if he can do any kind of damage or subterfuge on buildings.
I think he can do sabotage. I can't. Yeah, I think he can. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to send him in to incite revolt. Is that what I'm going to do?
Yes. Now, inciting revolt, you'll notice, is quite expensive.
Okay.
So it's something, might be a good idea to move him down first and see if there's anything else going on.
Okay.
What were your options there?
Incite Revolt and...
Assassinate.
Okay. Assassinate is usually quite good for if there's an enemy general there that's particularly powerful. Having a go at assassinating him can make your chance of winning the battle a lot easier.
Yeah.
Because high-star generals have a lot of benefits that they bring to the battlefield in terms of morale and unit strength. So
yeah, you cut them off, and suddenly that army is without a leader.
Okay.
And then you just lay the stomp on them.
So should I go ahead and start bringing my army down here, or should I recruit new units for it?
I think recruit a few more units first. Just so you can build up more of an attacking force before you actually start the main assault. Do you have any other armies nearby?
I think that's the only one I have. I do have a is it Daimyo? Daimyo?
Yep. So he's your leader. He's the leader of your clan. So
And some
let's get him killed.
and I have some spear levies in the town, but other than that, I think that is all that I have.
Okay. So I would start looking at a couple of your towns and trying to recruit some units at them. And then what you can do is when those units have been recruited is merge them with your main force to create more of an attacking force.
Okay, so I'm going to go over here to my town, and I'm going to click the recruitment tab. And currently, I can recruit White Tiger Force and Spear Levies.
White Tiger Force are one of your base kind of rifle infantry. These guys are going to be the meat and potatoes of your army.
Okay, so I'm going to recruit one of those.
Okay. Meat and potatoes, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
White Tiger Force is actually a well-known northern potato dish. Make that up.
So I'm going to recruit two of them, because I feel like, well, now it's still queuing it. I can go ahead and try for three, but that looks like it's going to take till second turn. So
Yeah.
I have now done some recruiting. I have moved my spy down, and I'm going to move my army down a little bit, down by my sustenance farm.
Okay.
And then, is it time to move on?
No, do you have any other towns at all, or is that your only settlement?
That's my only one.
Okay.
Let's move your navy alongside the coast to help back up your army.
Okay.
Yeah, because the navies can actually bombard the campaign map in Fall of the Samurai. So if you have, if you're planning to do a land battle somewhere near a coastline, it's useful to call your navy in, both to kind of explore the coastline and see where your enemy's units are, because it will reveal their positions as you move.
Yeah.
But also because they can provide fire support on the battlefield. There's like a little radius around your, the little dotted yellow line around your navy.
Yeah.
Is the area in which it can fire on a city. So
No,
that's
I'm pretty sure that this guy here on the coast is my ally. So if I go over here to diplomacy, I will see that I am... Oh, no, I guess I'm not. I'm hostile towards Mito and hostile towards Utsunomiya. Utsunomiya.
I've never done those guys either.
No.
So,
It might be a good idea, actually. While talking about friendships and alliances, they're really important in Fall of the Samurai too. You can actually start having trade agreements with friendly factions.
Of course. It's a very, very good way to get cash early on, is to open up trade with other factions.
okay, so here we go. Sendai, I would like to do something with you. I will enter negotiations. I will offer request a trade agreement.
There is much to discuss
Yep.
for our mutual benefit.
And
I can't see the text. Does it say favourable outcome?
it says this deal is satisfactory.
Okay, that
good.
means you've got a very high chance of making it work.
Okay, making the
You can
proposal.
also see on the right hand side, you can see a breakdown of all that leader's stats and like how he feels towards generally is he quite militaristic or is he more of a peaceful leader, and that kind of background info is really useful when making decisions on whether to attack them or treat them as friends.
When we started the cast, we mentioned that the Boshin era had this kind of pro-shogunate versus pro-imperial feel about it. And while it's not important early on, as you get towards middle and late game, whether you decide to go for like Gatling guns or whether you decide to kind of shun the kind of modern style and go for more traditional will affect how you interact with other clans. Like another clan who's very strictly traditional won't will not be happy with you if you rock up with a machine gun throwing steel ship of doom. Yeah. Not unit type.
Okay, excellent. So I have entered trade agreements with everyone I'm friendly with. I have moved my spy down. I have moved my ship down. I have recruited some units. Is it time to move to the next turn?
I think we're good.
So. Yep.
Okay, I'm ending the turn.
Next turn, high five.
Yep. Boom.
Internet high five.